And thanks for watching. I'm working more on my advanced stock market model today, and today I'm working on getting sector data. Before I get started, I'll go over really quick what I've done so far and what I need to do going forward. So here are the two goals for this project. Number one, I want to get a strategy that beats the S&P 500 by a significant margin and makes money in all regimes. So I don't want to just beat the S&P, if we're in a recession. I want to still be making money. The second the second goal, since I'm writing this all in Python code, I'm generalizing the code, and the end result will be a tool not only that I use, but a tool that anyone can use to develop their own models. And currently, you're able to create a universe of stocks, build a model with any features or targets you want for price data. You can test your model, do all sorts of tests, so a really robust analysis of your model, and have your model working in under 50 lines of code. So this is kind of the layout. Sorry, this is kind of hard to see. There you go, you can see it. So I have data, but you don't want to use all data for all tickers. My data is going back to 2011, so you don't want to use everything. You want to filter out things that are going to make your model worse. So this is things like penny stocks or low volume stocks. Low volume stocks, it's hard to implement a strategy because there's a lot of slippage, and penny stocks, I'll often follow patterns that aren't indicative of the rest of the market. So once I have the universe isolated, I'm going to use that to train a returns model. And the returns model should basically be able to predict returns or probability of going up or probability of positive return or how many standard deviations the returns are going to be compared to the average, something like that. And once I have a really good returns model going, I'm going to implement this into a portfolio model. So I started this at the beginning of the year. This is where I was at the end of January. So I started out getting NASDAQ data. I decided that's not good enough because you're going to have to download a CSV for every single day. I found a better data source. The link for this is in the description if you want to get this really easily on your computer. So this is Dolt. It's a Dolt database. Dolt is a website and a command line tool. It basically functions as Git, but for data instead of code. And so if you go to the GitHub repository, which is linked in the description, I have instructions on there for getting this onto your computer. And I also have some scripts in the repository which pull all of the data and put it into usable format you can use, a feather file, which then you can easily read using Pandas, so you don't need to make the requests yourself. I also have some flexible code that will allow you to make requests if you want to do without having to type out the requests. It will pull the data from the ticker that you specify, the date range you specify, and get all sorts of features on that data. This is the basic analysis. So here in black, I'm looking at different fundamental features over time. Here I'm comparing different stocks in a sector, so in this case pharmaceuticals. And this is kind of interesting, but it's really a qualitative analysis, and I don't want to be making stock picks based on charts. I want the model to make stock picks, based on data, and it should, have more data than I could hold in my head. So this is the model that I built. So it's a light gradient boosting method. This works really well on stock data. It handles missing values well. It works really well on large data sets, and it's common to use on time data. And all of these things make LightGBM one of the most common models to use in stock forecasting. I was able to find a portfolio strategy which worked. You see here, this is the best strategy. And here are the different strategies plotted. So the Sharpe ratio versus the number of positions. And you want a Sharpe ratio above 1 to have a usable model. And you can see the only one that has a Sharpe ratio above 1 is if I'm picking one stock per day. I tried thresholding this. So this model was trained on probability of positive stock return. So if I increased the threshold up to 54%, I was getting really good returns at 2.5 Sharpe ratio. The problem with this is that if I increased it one more percentage point to 55%, it wasn't making any picks. So for this reason, and because it was only making one pick per day, I decided I needed something more robust, and I needed to rapidly iterate through different features and targets in order to find something that's successful. So before I could do that, I had to rewrite the code base. Originally, you can see on the left, I had to write a new script every time I wanted to define the universe differently, change how the model works, or change how the portfolio strategy works. This quickly became dozens of files. It was going to blow up to hundreds of files before I had something usable, and it wasn't going to really be usable for me or anyone else. So I went ahead and cleaned up the model with the structure that you can see at the right. And now I have something that's really diverse, really flexible, and it can kind of do anything. And so now as I'm adding more things to it, that's really easy. I don't need to write new scripts every time. And these are all of the features that I implemented into the model. So like I said, this took all of January. I started at the beginning of the year. This reorganization took all of February. And once this was done, it was time to start looking at what could make the model successful. So the first step was just add all features to the model and try to predict the target. And you could see here the directional accuracy of 50.8% was actually worse than the first model I had, 51.5%. So I looked through at the cause of this, and I found I was able to get a really good model, and I got some better metrics. So I don't want to look at directional accuracy. I want to look at information coefficient, the standard deviation of the information coefficient, the information coefficient to information ratio, both on a daily and annual basis, and then the t-statistic. And so this model was beating all of these metrics, all of my goals for these metrics by a significant margin. So I went through and tried all sorts of things to isolate features that are helpful. I found that automated methods of feature dropping weren't working. However, I did find one feature, the stochastic oscillator. If I dropped that out of the data set, it performed better. And I did all sorts of robust tests on this. So I got the model, this model right here, which was working really well. I got that about a week and a half ago. And then I spent this last week going through and making sure the model was really robust. And so it kind of passed all the tests that I added. And I was really confident in it until Friday night when I changed the training test split. So right here, I'm only training one model. And originally I was using 60% for training, 20% for validation, and 20% for testing. Then when I changed this to use 50% for training, 15% for validation, and 35% for testing, the information coefficient dropped by a significant margin, and suddenly I wasn't hitting almost any of the metrics I wanted. It was barely good enough for information coefficient to information ratio and the standard deviation of the information coefficient, but the other metrics it was missing by a lot. So this morning I did a walk forward analysis to see, what is the cause of this. And you could see here in all of the metrics, it kind of is performing really well for the first 5 years. So I have data going back to 2011. This walk forward analysis, it's starting in 2016, and it's using the previous year as validation data, and the 4 years before that is training data. And validation data helps you tune the hyperparameters for the model. And so you can see here, really, if you're looking at the information coefficient, which is our most important metric, we went from, so I want to get 0.01 to 0.02. So you see all here, 2016 through 2020, I'm getting well above my range. So this is a very effective model, but then it kind of falls off. In 2022, we're not even getting 0.01. It climbs back above in 23, drops below again in 24, and climbs back above in 25. So this indicates that we have a decent model working. We need to add something to it, though, to squeeze a little bit of performance out of it. And interestingly enough, the annualized information coefficient to information ratio is hitting my target metrics. So this basically shows that the model is sufficiently stable, but it's not getting enough returns. So I need to squeeze some more returns out of it without sacrificing stability. And so the first The first most obvious thing to do is add fundamental data. The problem with this is my fundamental data is only goes back to 2016, and it's missing data for a lot of tickers, and so that's not going to work for me. I need to, find some way to pull fundamental data, probably from the SEC Edgar database. I forgot to mention one of the goals for the generalized version of this project is everything should be free. So I really don't like tools where it's like you have to pay a lot of money to get it to work. I want to, build some web scraping stuff or something like that, so I can get all of the data. But that fundamental data is going to be really hard to get, even though it will improve my model substantially. And since I need to, I've decided that it's sufficiently stable from the plot at the far right, but I need to squeeze out better returns from the plot, which is I concluded from the middle plot. I think the next step I'm going for is getting sector information. So if I can get the sector for each stock in my database, I'll be able to, let me think. If I could get a sector for each stock, then that will give me a new feature to add to the model, which should improve the model. But more importantly, I'll be able to normalize across sectors. So right now I'm normalizing across everything in the data. And a much better way of normalizing is to normalize for a sector, because different sectors behave differently. So today I've been working on getting the sector information. The problem is that the code I have, so you can pull the sector information from the SEC Edgar database. But the problem that I'm having is I'm missing a lot of data. So here you see I have 12,770 tickers, almost 13,000. But 5,677, or here 5,674, are returning unknown. So, that's going to cause a big problem when I try to neutralize across sectors. So tonight, for the next hour or so, I'm going to work on improving the script I have to try to get it to work for, I want to get the sector for every ticker. I modified my original code. I got Claude to give me a script, which is getting the tickers. Now, this isn't getting all tickers, and it's taking a long time to run, but I've run it here, and I want to see how it performed. So, yeah, that's basically the overview. Now I'm going to get to work. If you think this is interesting, subscribe, like the stream. That stuff helps me out. Also, go to the GitHub, try downloading it for yourself. Let me know how I can improve it. And it really helps me out if you star the GitHub, watch the GitHub, and follow me on GitHub. All that stuff really helps me raise my profile, helps me get freelance coding gigs, and then jobs as well. So with all that said, let me get started. Hey, Furpo. Oh, nice. Hey, Mom. Are you going to bed? Yeah. Nighty night.
I don't want to be in your stream.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. Nighty night.
See you in the morning. I'm going to turn the kitchen light on.
Okay. Well, let me go look at that real quick, Furpo. You're the only one watching, so may as well. Discord. Open. Transaction costs. Oh. Wait a second. Is this your, did you download the model and then this is feedback on the model? What do I think about this? Oh, you speak Spanish? Comparación de portfolios. Todos los modelos y SPY. SPY, buy and hold. Model 1, Model 2. Oh, is this that guy? Is this from his analysis? So model 1 machine learning, bad. Model 2 MACD, better, but still doesn't come close to SPY. Hybrid ensemble, bad. Is this yours or is this that guy on GitHub's? That guy who you linked. Let me actually just I don't want to show my Discord, but I can just pull this up. So what to make of this? It looks like it's underperforming the S&P. SPY price, precio y señales. What's señales de compra? Something about buying. Oh, so what's so this is giving you when to buy. I mean, really, any time's a good time to buy on the S&P, but you want this, you should definitely want to buy somewhere down here. Probability ML. Yeah, it looks like, if this is yours, it looks like you need better features in your data. But is this trying to trade, what's it trading on? Is it trading only on SPY? And what did the beginning messages mean? Like when you're saying position sizing, is this a model that you made? Transaction costs. So you're saying that I don't know, what is this? Is this an analysis of my code or is it your own model that you've made? I took yours and the other guy's model and asked Claude to take the best from both. I'm just curious. I don't know how to code, but I find this interesting. Wait, so what's so which one's my model? Is it the hybrid? Is it, I guess my model would be model 1 and then just doing MACD is the other one. Well, so when you're training the model, you want to train it on all data in the data set. You don't want it to just train on SPY, because then it will just learn the S&P 500. I mean, maybe that will work, but if you have all the stock tickers are doing different things. And so if you're training it on all the data, you're able to learn a much more general trend. And I don't want to give away exactly what I'm doing with my model because that's my edge. The GitHub is a tool so anyone can use it. But what's the point with that? Yeah, the first place to start would be incorporate all data for all tickers into your thing. And then, like I said, you want to make a universe. You could, and Claude is the way to go. You can just use, show it the code, show it the GitHub. Maybe was that you who said you can link Claude to a GitHub? So give it the GitHub, and then just ask it, to kind of iterate this on this and make it better. So, don't train only on SPY, train on every stock available. Using a MACD strategy is like basically using technical indicators. And that's like a really common thing people do. They'll see, when does the MACD dip down to the bottom? That's when you buy. When the MACD goes up to the top, sell. And if you just follow that, that's generally a pretty good thing. But, everybody knows about that. So it kind of helps if you're doing traditional stuff, but not otherwise. Anyway, that's a good start. I don't know, but financial modeling prep, maybe you can get data from here. Let me see. Financial modeling prep. Ooh, historical sector performance API parameters. Assess historical data on average percentage changes in various sectors. Data sets, real-time market data, historical market data. maybe historical market data. Alright, so I already show my Google like every stream, so it doesn't matter if it comes up here. Oh, is my stream updating? Oh yeah, good. Yep, that's me. Okay, this is taking a while. I'm worried I might have to pay for this. Yeah, for now I'm gonna go back. I want to look at this. So how did this perform? So sector DF. So first length of sector DF. And then let's get length of sector DF. Doesn't Alpaca make you pay or sign up? Anytime I see pricing, I get scared. Sector DF, where sector DF dot sector is equal to unknown. Great. So this is helping a lot. So what is that? 3202. So now I have 75% of the sector information, but I don't have all of it. So I need to go through now. Some of them. Now what does that mean? Oracle Money D. Let me go to the Dolt Hub. Stocks. OHLCV. And we're going to say where. Account symbol is equal to Oracle. What is it? Money D. Syntax error at position 44 near account symbol. So what if we just do where account symbol is equal to Apple? Am I doing that wrong? What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it's not Python, it's SQL. We only need one equal sign. All right, so let's go back to Oracle Money D. Okay, I guess that's gonna take a bit. Get started. Okay, I'm gonna move this down and I'm gonna make an account. Okay, now it's sending me a pin. Why is that query not working? Oh, this is data bento. Whatever. See if it works. Context deadline exceeded. We only use, oh my god. Give your card info to create an account. No thanks. Okay, so data bento is not going to work. Yeah, anyway, Furpo, I think it would be interesting if you did that. But then, you want to add a lot more advanced features. And you want to, what target were you using? Were you just using the price? Because if you're just using the price, the model's not going to perform that well. And then another clue I could give you is that is what? Oh, yeah, so you don't want to be using the price as the input to your model. And just so you know, I'm not predicting returns for the day or anything like that. I'm looking at something a little bit more complicated than that. Look up sector neutralization. That's something that you want to do. Okay, so go back to here. Okay, so let me just pull up my data. Import pandas as PD. Then we could do pd.read feather, and we're gonna read // data / all OHLCV. Let me pull up this guy. So what was that called again? All OHLCV, no ETFs. .feather. And hold up. Okay, so let's call this DF. Then length of DF dot account symbol dot unique. Yeah, so is it using the one without ETFs? I guess so. So yeah, let me actually put this into the PowerPoint because this was a much better solution, but I'm still missing about a quarter of the data. Okay, now I want to see, what is that Oracle Money D? Why is that coming up? So let's look at DF, where DF dot account symbol is equal to ORCL Money D. Let me see if he explains this here. So post no preference stocks. Contains 4 tables. Data covers all symbols in the symbol table. Yeah, why is this going so slow? Good, so we have security name. I'm just going to download this whole thing. There's a way to do that. How do I do that? Oh, well, are you kidding me? Market category. Oh yeah, I forgot. I already looked at that. So that's just global, global select, or capital. So from symbol where account symbol is equal to ORCL money D. What does that mean? Oracle Corporation depository shares, each representing 1/2000th interest in a share of 6.5% Series D mandatory convertible preferred stock. Whatever the hell that means. What does it mean when a ticker has a money sign in it? Okay, so what if we do that? So how many of these tickers have a money sign on them? So length of, well, instead I could just do sector df where sector df. Okay, we're gonna do 2 conditions. So first condition and second condition. So the first condition is sector df dot account symbol. We'll say money in that, and the second condition is that sector df dot sector is equal to. Do you have more things that I can add, like sector neutralization? Yeah, that's all in there. So what? Okay, just a sec. Let me look at this. Sector df where sector where money in sector df dot account symbol. Oh, okay, so that's not gonna work. I need some Pandas way to write that. But yeah, let me show you real quick. So if you get that out of here. If you go to okay, here's the repository. So in scripts, basically I give an example here. So let me show the example real quick. Yeah, so the first thing is create a universe. You don't worry about that now for your sector neutralization, but you are going to want to create a universe. So you can add the same filters I have here. This is a good starting point, but you're going to want to change this around a bit. But see here, so I'm doing price filter, so I'm filtering out all stocks that are below $5 a share to try to filter out penny stocks. I'm filtering to get the top 3,000 by liquidity. And this is advanced, kind of an advanced filter, but you can say, this is how many, I want stocks with a minimum history going back this far. If it crashed, this means if it crashed over 50% in a year, drop it out. This, you can require it to be an uptrending stock, so leave out stocks that are trending down. And then here you can pick, what's number of volatility do I want. So how this is functioning is, first it's getting the top 3,000 by liquidity. It's dropping out everything that has a price under $5. And then this final filter, it's dropping out everything that had a crash over 50% in the last year. And then it's dropping out everything except it's getting the lowest 1,000 volatility of the remaining tickers. And so then you create features. So you can do the features however you want, but look, you can do these transforms here. So when you're creating a feature, one of the things you could pass in is a transform. So let me show you the features real quick, because that's not the only transform, but you're going to have to figure out what transform works best for you. So if you go to feature engine, so these are all functions at the top. This is the registry. So basically this is really easy to add a new feature. If you want a new feature that you make up however you want, you just need to add a function at the top of the file. And then you go down here and add it to the registry. And if your function works correctly and if you've put in the inputs and outputs correctly here, they don't all need that, but some of them do. You'll be able to create any new feature you want. And so then if you look at the feature request class, there's this transform, so you can pass in different transforms. You can rank the stocks according to each other. You can demean the stocks, so that's a pretty common way to do sector neutralization is, remove the mean from the value of the feature. So say it's a log return feature. If you do this demean transform, basically instead of the feature showing the log return for each stock going back some certain number of days, it's going to give you the log return minus the mean log return. And another cool thing is you can give it how many days to look back. So that you give in params, you can say params and then pass in time period to the params. Params is a dictionary. So you do basically a Python dictionary, say params, time period as a value, or sorry, time period is a key, and then the value for time period is how many days it's looking back for the log return, for instance. So say you're doing 5-day log returns and you're doing this demean transformation. That's a way to neutralize. And there's these other transformations, binary, give it a 1 or a 0. Regime, I forgot what that does. And then the cross-sectional z-score. Yeah, so you could do any of those transformations. And if there's any more that I find that are useful to do, I'm going to add those there. But you have these 5 transformations are already implemented in the code. So yeah, there's all sorts of sector neutralization currently in the code. And you could go use it, download it, use it for yourself. And don't forget to leave a star, watch it, and follow me on GitHub, because I'm not charging money for anything. That's all I ask, because it helps me out. And subscribe, of course, but I think you're already subscribed. So, okay, that's not working. Now, oh yeah, so let me see. So let's ask, what is the proper way to return all rows in a data frame, Pandas data frame, which contain a certain string in a column. So I'm trying to get all the ones that have this money sign. Because it might be the case if I drop out everything that has a money sign, I might not have to worry about it. Okay, so we could do sector df. So instead of this first condition, we can say df.account. So sector df.account symbol dot string dot contains a money sign. And it's unknown. But how does that make any sense? Okay, so let's drop the second condition and just do the first condition. Now, how does that make any sense? I don't know. Yeah, so if you just tuned in, please subscribe, like the stream, go to the GitHub, star it, watch it, follow me on GitHub, join the Discord. The links for all that stuff's in the description, and it really helps me out a lot. I would appreciate it. Oh, yep, here's the code snippet. Oh. /r r/s. Good. So there's 449 that contain money sign. And 314 that contain a dot. So that accounts for like, what, 764? 763? Hey, a non-user. Nah, what? Oh, you're applying to FERPO? Well, good thing for FERPO is in my repository. There are many things that can do sector neutralization. Okay, so yeah, so that doesn't explain everything, but it is a lot better. So let's do sector df dot toFeather, and we'll put it in data, and we'll say C for Claude underscore sectors dot feather. Okay, now we can access this. And so what I want to focus on is, so the first one that doesn't work is ACC. AAC, I think it's ACC. So, yep, here we go. So ACC isn't working. I want to work on troubleshooting that. Let me make this smaller. Okay, so I'll call this get all. And then let's indent everything here. And then we could say if test ACC is equal to true, we're going to do this. df sectors, tickers, pass that, and then we can say get print get sector of, and so what I'm going to pass in is get sector of ticker user agent. So of ACC and my user agent. Save. Hey, and Paprika, what keyboard do you use? What do you mean? It's just the keyboard that's on my laptop. Why, do you hear it clicking away? I have a laptop and then I have a monitor set up above my laptop. But it's, what do you mean? Do you mean like what language keyboard do I use? It's English United States keyboard on a MacBook. Okay, so let's test that guy. Then we'll say get all is equal to 0, and then test ACC is equal to 1, because that's what we want to run. So now let's try running the same code file again. Don't want to be doing that, so let's just try ACC, the first one that I'm not getting any information for. No, the actual keyboard, it was Thocky. Yeah, well, it sounds good. Something about how the audio works in here. I've noticed that. I've listened to my streams a couple times. And the keyboard does sound really nice. It's hard to find a nice keyboard, but I love the keyboards on the MacBook. So it's saying, yeah, not found. So why am I not able to find information for sector information for this ticker? Why does it not fall back to getting the information from Yahoo Finance? Which APIs are you building the tool off of? None. I'm not using, oh, I guess this is an API, so I'm using this data, but the goal is to make it absolutely free. So anyone can use it and you don't have to pay money for it. So I found this data set, which is really good, or this guy has a bunch of databases. But yeah, so options, stocks, rates, these are treasury rates, earnings, so fundamental data. And the fundamental data isn't great because it's missing a lot of assets. And it only goes back to 2016, but the price data is really good. It goes back to 2011 and contains everything, including tickers which have been delisted from the stock exchange. What's really good about this is that all of them is that he updates them every day when the market closes. So sometime after the market close and before the market opens the next day, he updates the data. And it's on Dolt Hub. So Dolt's like Git, but for data. So you can pull it's basically a SQL database, and you can pull the database onto your computer every day, before you make your picks. So, and it's totally free. So he updates it every day. It's totally free. For those reasons, that's what I'm using right now. So there's 8 people viewing right now. If you just tuned in, please subscribe. Go to the GitHub. The link's in the description. And if you find it useful, it helps me out if you download it and try it out like Furpo did. So please try it out. Let me know how it works. Let me know how I can improve it. And then yeah, star the repository, watch the repository, and follow me on GitHub. That really helps me out. Helps me raise my profile for coding jobs. Helps me get freelance coding gigs. So I appreciate that. And then also join the Discord. The link for all this stuff's in the description. But we talk about interesting stuff in the Discord. So, yeah, do all that if you're interested. If you're interested in following along, since there's a bunch of people watching, a bunch of people from my streams, because this is a bunch of views, I'll show you my goals really quick. So I update everything, all the progress I'm making in this PowerPoint. You can see there's a lot of slides. But let me go up. Here are the goals. So first goal, beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin and make money in all regimes. So even if we're in a recession, this model should be making money. And then I'm generalizing it and making a Python tool that anyone can use so they can create advanced models for themselves. And you can get the data basically in the setup of the repository. You're pulling the data onto your computer. And then in under 50 lines of code, you can create a universe from the data. You can create a model, and you could test it robustly with all sorts of tests. So, and right now I had a model which I thought was working really well. It turns out that it's not, but this is the model I got that was working really well. So it's beating the metrics I'm looking at. Information coefficient, ratio of information coefficient to information. No, I live at my parents' house. But yeah, it is. It looks like a dorm because all of my worldly possessions are crowded into this room. But no, I'm not in college. But it's good that I still look young enough I could be in college. So I'm looking at the information coefficient, the standard deviation of the information coefficient, the ratio of the information coefficient to information, both on a daily and an annual basis, and then the t-statistics. So I'm beating all the metrics I'm looking for here. So I thought I had a good model. I tried dropping stuff out. That wasn't improving it. I tried all sorts of things. I looked at the distribution. This is looking at, if I drop out features one by one, what improves the model. And so everything was looking really good. I was really confident in this. I got this model about a week and a half ago, and then I spent last week testing it. But then you see, where is it? So it was looking really good, but then I changed the training test split, which honestly I should have done a lot earlier. And you can see that the model falls apart. So this actually isn't doing that well. And so the next thing I was trying to figure out, what's the cause of this? So I did a walk forward analysis, basically take groups of data for 6 years. So this is going back to 2011. So this is starting in 16. And the last year is the what I'm testing on. Second to last year is the training data. Or sorry, the second to last year is the validation data. So for tuning hyperparameters. And then the first 4 years are the training data. So when I did that, you see the performance is really falling off after 2020. And it becomes not usable if you're just looking at information coefficient after 2021. So 22 and 24 are missing the information coefficient goal. 23 and 25 are hitting it. But basically this shows that it's not very robust, and I need something a little bit better. And so a really big improvement to the model would be... no, I didn't try auto research. I don't even know what that is. I'm going to write that down, though. Yeah, so, also if you look at the information coefficient to information ratio, it is, even though it's fallen off, it's still hitting the metric I'm looking for each year. And so Basically, what this means is that the model is sufficiently stable. And you also, if you look at the Sharp ratio, it's getting a Sharp above 1 every year except for 23. And even then it's 0.995. So we're really close to a good model. I just need to squeeze a little bit of performance out of it. If I add the sector information, which is going to allow me to neutralize based on the sector information, and it will also give me an additional feature to use, I think that's going to, really kind of boost the data, boost the results so that my information coefficient now is hitting the threshold for each year. And once I have that, I'll be able to paper trade. The problem with that is I'm having a lot of trouble. So right now I'm only getting information. I'm only getting sector information for about 75% of my tickers. And I need it for all of the tickers so I don't end up with a survivorship bias. Because the ones that are currently listed, it's really easy to get the information. Ones that have been delisted, it's a lot harder to get the information for. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So let me see. Auto research for testing. So what is auto research? Holy shit. It was just introduced. It is designed to automate the iterative trial and error process of ML research, allowing AI agents to independently train, evaluate, and improve models overnight. Whoa. That's crazy. Draft, the AI edits the Python training code to test a new idea. Train, quick training experiment, evaluate, decide if it improves, update the changes. Yeah, that's interesting. Carpathy auto research. It automatically can improve the model you're working with goal given. Yeah, I don't know how to use it. Basically, that's going to be a new project. I'm really close. So I'm focusing on this for now. And once I get to paper trading, then I'll have some free time to kind of look at different stuff. So I'm definitely going to look at that. And I know Andre Karpathy, of course, he's really well respected in machine learning. That's crazy. I mean, the advancements are happening so quickly. Yeah. So, what am I doing next? So, let me go to. Oh yeah, what did Claude say about this? So strategy 1 fails silently. Yeah, that's because it's been delisted. So okay. Why finance is being reached, but it also fails. Fixes. Unknown. But even if it has been delisted, I should be able to find it in the database. I mean, that auto research. Yeah, well, it seems perfect for this. Also, I mean, think of all the stuff you could apply it to in physics, because it's basically physics. You need data, and then say make a model, and then keep tuning it so it fits your data really well. So, um, I don't even know it. Oh, Claude Opus is. Don't you have to pay for that? I'm not paying for anything. I'm broke. If you can't tell, that's like part of my. Um, no, yeah, because I'm broke. Um, unless Opus, I don't know, more models. Oh, Opus. Oh yeah, upgrade. I have to upgrade. Yeah, so I'm avoiding paying for stuff because I'm broke. Um, but that kind of makes it fun. Even if it has been delisted, I should be able to find it in the SEC Edgar database. Why is the code not finding it? And thanks for following me, Furpo, on GitHub. That really helps me out. It makes me look good. If people go to my GitHub, when I'm trying to get jobs, that's been a thing in the past. Is they say this guy, he's got nothing going on, but this repository is helping me, helping raise my profile. And then also, if they see several people are following me, if I could get that to like dozens of people, there we go. This guy's legit. We gotta hire him. Um, this search is SEC Edgar. Okay, the bug is in resolve CIK via EFTs. The EFTs endpoint does a full text search across all 10K filings for the string ACC. Since ACC is a common abbreviation that appears in thousands of filings, there will be many hits where the tickers array is empty. That means delisted candidates ends up with more than one entry, so the ambiguous check fails and the function returns none. The root cause is using full text search to find a ticker, the wrong tool for the job. Use Edgar's company search endpoint. Oh yeah, also Almond Gold, thanks. Oh yeah, I thought I changed it. It's not using Opus. Yeah, I'm using free poor guy stuff, but basically it keeps, every day I run into something where it seems like if I start paying for models, things will perform a lot better. Anyway, Almond Gold, you should join the Discord because I sure would like to hear your thoughts about stuff. You're on the cutting edge. If you're aware of models that came out this month, then you're really following the cutting edge. And that's what we want in the Discord. We want cutting edge. We want you. Um, okay, so this. Okay. So resolve CIK via AFTs. Resolve. Good. So I'll just replace that. Paste it in. Yeah, thanks. It really helps. Really, I mean that's things are moving so fast right now that um it's all about being on the cutting edge. No, I used Gemini, but then I ran out of free requests, and I'm using 3 different accounts. I have 3 different Gmail accounts I'm using. So, but it seems like they're giving you less requests. Gemini Pro is the best model I've found. Somebody suggested I use it, so I didn't find it myself, but yeah, someone told me to use Gemini Pro, um, and that's like by far the best model that I've used. Claude is really good, but it doesn't seem like it's as good for writing code um, as Gemini Pro. It seems like Gemini Pro is the best, but then like the best model is constantly changing, so that might be out of date. But as of January, it was the best model I could find. It's still not finding anything. Is it possible to print out the results from Edgar, or is there a web page I can go to in order to troubleshoot the error? Thanks. Yeah, that would be great. Oh, I don't want to paste that. I want to paste this. Pinned comment. The link just shows a blank web page that says no matching ticker symbol. But it is my understanding that every company that has ever filed with the SEC has data on Edgar. Is my assumption wrong? If not, how can I find the info for this ticker? Okay, so I do have the company name here, so symbol. So ACC is ACC, American Campus Communities, Inc. Okay, so I can say I found it. I also have, so let me download that. How do I download this? I've done it before, but I don't remember. Oh, here we go. Options. Download. this database contains names associated with the tickers. Write a script which pulls all of the data and from this table located in my local SQL database and save it into /data/ symbols feather. Then update the code to use the symbols. Keep in mind that there is a slight mismatch in the table entry for the company name and the what's it called, URL that worked. The URL finds the company titled American Campus Communities. But the company name? The hell? Security name. Okay, so let's see if it comes up with something useful. This will take a sec, but oh, okay. Yep, it is. Okay, so let's go now in data retrieval. We want a new script. Fetch symbols.py. Okay, so then when I'm doing get fundamental data, get SEC data, setup data, I need to make a connection. I wish I could. Let me see again if I could just download this. Options. Oops, no, don't download that. Options, download symbol. But it's taking a long time, so yeah, I don't know. I wish this would work. It'd be so much easier. Get sectors, get sector data. Pull rate data, set up data. Okay, so just so I don't delete this, I'm going to make a new one. Okay. Gotta make sure this is saved. Save. Save this guy. Okay, now let's do fetch symbols. Oh. Well, let's see if it works. Oh, oops. Okay, so if I go back to base, I know it will work. Okay. Wow, so we have 9 live viewers. I'm going to take this opportunity to say please subscribe. Please go to the GitHub, download it. Let me know how it works. It's a general tool that you can use yourself to create your own models and test them. Also, if you use it, really helps me out. If you star the repository, watch the repository, and follow me on GitHub. That helps raise my profile for freelance gigs and coding jobs. So now let's run fetch. Oh no, get sectors. Whoa, we got it. Wow. Okay. So, yeah, and I'm trying to get the sector information to improve my model. Uh, can you show me your API key? Sure, man. Um, the good thing is I'm not using any APIs, so I don't have any API keys. But if I was, I would definitely share it with you. Okay, so let's update this. So get rid of, when I do get all, it takes a really long time to run. And ACC was the first symbol I wasn't getting. So I was trying to troubleshoot with that one. And then get it to work. So now the troubleshooting worked. I'm now getting that sector. It's real estate investment trusts. So let's go through and do it again. And see, are we getting all of them now? So ACC was the first one failing. We're now getting it. ACC resolved, no longer unknown. Good, that's no longer unknown. Ooh, ADS is unknown. Okay, so this will get me a lot more sectors, but let's see, why is ADS unknown? So let's do a new one, test ADS. Set that to 1. And then if do this guy, just gonna put this at the top. So if test ADS is true, let's do this. Actually, this could go up at the top too. And let's change this to be ADS. Save it. And okay, so it's also giving unknown for ATV, but maybe if we fix ADS, we'll get it. So yeah, okay, this is good. Now let's run that. Oops. Yeah, so maybe you're getting sick of hearing it, but I'm going to say it again since there's 11 viewers. Please subscribe, like the live stream. That stuff helps me out a lot. Also helps me if you go to the GitHub in the description. You can download all the code there. And please star it, watch it, and follow me on GitHub. Oh, it's not live data. I'm using this repository here. It's on DoltHub. DoltHub's basically GitHub, but for data. And so you can download the repository here. If you go to my GitHub, I give instructions for how to do it. Just copy and paste these into your command line. First, you need to get Dolt on your command line. They show you how to do that here. Once you have Dolt, just copy and paste these commands. You can download the code. if you run data retrieval slash setup to run this file from the repository, and it'll put all the code into a feather file. Feather you can read with Pandas, so you could get it, one line of code. You could get all of the data, all of the price data going back to 2011, including delisted tickers. You can get that onto your computer locally, and then read it in with Pandas in one line. Okay, so they rebranded. Strip the last word and retry. Alliance Data Systems, which Edgar does fine. Okay, so let's add that in. Oh, and then this goes inside. And we want this. Okay, and then pass 2, so resolve CIK via company name. Put this guy here. Oh, nice. All right, so now let's go try to get everything. And let's see if it fails on anything. Okay, so let's look for failures. So it shouldn't fail for a while because we know ACC works and ADS works right now. So ACC, we got it. ADS, when that comes up, we should get it. ADS. Good, we resolved ADS. Are we getting any more unknowns? Yep, found that. It's having trouble finding this guy. Okay, now it's not working for AEB. So let's see. Yeah, I'm the leader and the follower. I'm the only guy. One guy, one man operation. Let me show you the end goals real quick though, because I put it in my PowerPoint. There's 2 goals I have. 1, beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin and make money in all regimes. So I don't want to, be making money but underperforming the S&P. You could just buy and hold the S&P instead. I also don't want to be beating the S&P but losing money in a recession. I want to make money no matter what. So those are the 2 goals for the model I'm building. And then I'm using Python to build the model. So the second goal here is I'm generalizing all of the code, and I want to make a usable Python tool that anyone can use to create their own model. So these first two steps, creating a stock universe and creating a returns model, if you're using my repository, you can do that in under 50 lines of code. So really efficiently, and you could just use Claude to write it for you. Here's the repository. It helps me out a lot if you download it and try to use it, and you could give me feedback on the Discord. The link's in the description. It would really help me out if one-man operation, so only I'm using it. And so yeah, I would really appreciate feedback on what features would be useful to implement, and also is this easy to use? Is it difficult? So let me know. There's instructions for setting everything up. It's pretty easy. You just need Dolt. You need some Python packages. But yeah, so look here. You can create a universe, create features for the model. It's really diverse. I have a ton of features I've added. So it's right now it's working only on price data, but for price data, I've implemented all of these features and targets, except for the ones in magenta. And then you can train the model. So you can do all that, really quickly, under 50 lines of code. This is, if you made this more efficient, you could probably do it in like, I don't know, maybe like 10 lines of code even. Yeah, so it really helps me out if you download this and give me feedback. Also, if you star it, watch it, and follow me on GitHub, all that stuff really helps me out. Yeah. So, and football, is that American football or European football? What kind of football fan are you? Real football. I don't really watch European football, but I'm a big fan of American football. So where was this failing again? It was giving me unknown for AEB. That's the first one. So let's do another test. Test AEB is equal to 1. Let's turn that guy off. If test AEB is equal to true, copy this, and let's look at the output for if we want to get AEB. And run it. Thank you very much. Do you bet on soccer? I'm into sports betting too, but the problem with sports betting is that I don't think God likes it. I think God likes you doing stock market stuff. As long as you're not investing in like war companies. God doesn't like war. But God does really like if you if you are shorting bad companies and going long on good companies, I think God is a fan of that. Okay, so this fixed the previous error, but is still not working for all tickers. Why am I unable to get sector information for AEB? Valuation, you mean like from quarterly reports and stuff? It's only using price data right now, and it's trying to recognize trends and patterns from that. Basically, about a week and a half ago, I got a really good model going. I'm looking at information coefficient, standard deviation of the information coefficient to information ratio, and t-statistic. So I got this model, which is beating the metrics, the goal for every metric, each one of those metrics. It looks really good here. If you look at, this is the decile analysis, so it should kind of look roughly like a staircase, which it does. So I thought this was really good. It passed basically every test I could imagine to give to it. But then when I trained the data splitting, it started failing. And so I did a walk forward analysis, and I found this model is still working pretty well, but after 2021 it stops beating my goal metric for information coefficient, but it's still beating the goal for information coefficient to information ratio. And so that's a good sign. It shows that the model has the stability I'm looking for, but it's not getting the returns I'm looking for. Although these are really close. So what I'm looking for is 0.01. So you can see it's just, look at mean IC here. So only in 2022, 0.008, in 2024, 0.008. It's underperforming this information coefficient metric. So I just need to squeeze a little bit extra out of the performance of the model. And so what I can, once I have the sector information, I'll have a new feature to implement that should improve the model performance. And if it's still not sufficient, I'll be able to normalize for the sector. So right now I'm neutralizing the target and the features according to all of the stocks in the data. And so rather than do that, I want to neutralize it according to all of the stocks in each sector. And that will increase performance significantly. But I don't have any fundamental data right now because I don't have a good data source for that. One of the constraints on this project is I'm trying to use only free data sources. So everything should be free so that anyone can use this without paying money. That's kind of a big obstacle, at least for like me. Anytime there's like a tool I can use to like make money in the stock market and I have to pay for it, it kind of turns me off because I don't have the money to pay for it. So anyway, no, I don't bet and rarely stray from index fund investing. God makes index funds only go up, making it a hard deal to turn down. Yes, that's true. Except for in the near term future, I think we're going to have a huge market crash. But who knows? So let's see what it says. The problem is in clean company name. AEB is not a common stock. It's a preferred hybrid security. The security name has a completely different suffix pattern than that your cleaner doesn't recognize. The fix is to extend clean company name. Right, so do I already have security markers in that code? Fetch symbols. Okay, so I want to add both of those. Return cleaned. Okay, so let's add this at the bottom of the function. Oh, I just have a new function for clean company name. Okay, so let's put it here. Get rid of that. Save, and so let's pull the data again for the symbols. And let's see if it works now. Still unknown. So let me make sure I saved this. Save. Run again. With this, Agon and V, which Edgar finds correctly. So let me go look at the data. Thanks, Almond Gold. And thanks a lot for that tip to use auto research, because that is cutting edge. I really appreciate it. That's cool. That's really going to help me out. Helps me to be at the cutting edge. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Okay, so let's import pandas. Now this is saving in data/symbols.feather. So df is equal to pd.read feather. And we want to read data/symbols.feather. Okay, and then let's get df, where df.account symbol is equal to AEB. Oh, symbol. No, it's not Slavic. Okay, so it's giving security name and company name. Agon N dot v, it actually writes the company name as Aegon n dot v. I think this is causing the issue. How do I fix this? So let's look up normalized for Edgar. Okay. Where do I put this and in what script? Yes, it is. I'm using the free version of everything, but someday, probably soon, I think I'm gonna change to using paid version of something. The best AI model I've found for coding is Google Gemini Pro. But you know, like they all are limiting how many requests you can make, so okay, so change the stuff before pass 2. Oh, fetch symbols. So clean. Where do I put it? Oh. Add normalized for Edgar. And then update pass 1 loop. Okay, I'll just do everything here, so everything before. line 35. Oh. Okay. We called requests. No, just RE. Save. Make sure I saved this. Yep. I need to make sure it's saved. Still unknown. And type equals blank. Okay, so and type equals 10-k, so get rid of that. Yes, okay, it works. So now we could go up, turn get all back on, and let's see if it's failing for anything. So it worked before until AEB, so let's watch for AEB. And then see, does it go for a while without anything failing? So good, ACC, it's getting something. Come on, let's get to AEB. AEB works. Everything's working so far. Let's watch. Is there anything that's returning unknown? Unknown. Good, resolved. Unknown. So far, so. Oh! AHC. Okay. So actually, it's getting kind of late. I'm gonna end the stream for tonight. If you found this interesting, please subscribe. Like I've said a few times, please go to the GitHub, start the repository, watch the repository, follow me on GitHub, join the Discord. The link for all that stuff's in the description. All of that stuff helps me out a lot. And that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your night. Adios. Or so. Oh, AHC. Okay. So actually, it's getting kind of late. I'm gonna end the stream for tonight. If you found this interesting, please subscribe.